Hello and welcome. I'm Bob Campbell and this is The Real Review. With me today is Ed Donaldson, who's Marketing Manager from Pegasus Bay. Pegasus Bay is I suppose you'd almost call it a mid-sized, mid to small-sized family winery in Waipara, and they've been at it for quite a while. Ed, how many family members currently work at Pegasus Bay?
So there's currently 7 of us
Wow.
that all work in sort of key roles within the business. So from winemaking to marketing to general manager. Ivan overseeing the vineyard, Mum in the gardens, my wife doing the hospitality side of the business. My young next brother up from me, Mike, doing our local sales around Christchurch. So there's quite a few of us, which has sort of recipe for a complete disaster. I imagine having that many family members usually working together, but it seems to work.
Sustains the Donaldson clan.
Indeed.
Pegasus Bay ranked a very creditable 13th in our top wineries of New Zealand list. That's an impressive achievement. And how does it feel to be 13th out of 700 plus winemakers?
Well, look, it feels pretty amazing, really. Just to be in the company of so many other great producers that are around that sort of ranking, or certainly, ahead of us and a bit behind us in the ranking. I mean, I think it's always this particular ranking is, I think, the sort of go-to. There's not really any other ranking for New Zealand wine that has, in my opinion, the same sort of credibility that this ranking has. And I think that's, it's partly due to obviously the experience you've had, Bob, with with tasting wine from New Zealand for so many years, and also just the way you've done it. So rather than it being a sort of a snapshot of just a wine sent into you for one tasting, it's the wines that you've tasted over the whole year and an average score. And I think that just carries a lot of extra weight. For us, it's a really important sort of classification, and we're delighted to have done well.
Well, thanks, Ed. And you're one of the earliest producers to set up camp in Waipara, and I guess that gives you some pretty hefty vine age now. Does that can you see that coming through in the wines? That extra concentration and sort of power?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. The vine's the core of our home vineyard now, 36 years this year. So those sort of older vines in the vineyard are all ungrafted as well. So it's hard to know. I mean, look, we definitely get our best fruit from that older part of the vineyard, year in, year out. But it's hard to know if it's the vine age, the clone, the particular clones, or the fact that they're ungrafted. But we've definitely seen, the quality of the fruit's been getting better and better over the years. I mean, a lot of that is partly due to the work that the viticulture team, has done in the winery as well. So it's hard to sort of contribute it to one particular thing, but I think vine age is definitely playing a role. There's no doubt that the quality of the fruit, from the early days to what we're getting now. And again, a lot of it has to do with the work that we've, understanding the vineyard a lot better as we've gone on and seen the wines age and sort of refine what we're doing in the vineyard and also in the winery.
I've described your winemaker brother Matthew as a hands-on winemaker rather than a hands-off, which can be quite fashionable. But hands-on, by hands-on, I mean he likes big and complex wines. He likes really seriously concentrated wines. So do you think that's a fair sort of?
I think so. I mean, look, we're always. I mean, probably as time's gone on, more and more. I think the vineyard's playing a more significant role in the wines that we make, and I think a lot of that has to do with the I guess just understanding how the basically making wine over such a reasonable sort of length of time. But still, I mean, Matt's hugely experimental, and he's never really he's never really completely satisfied with pretty much anything. He's a real perfectionist and he's quite pedantic. And he does, he's always looking to push the boundaries and to, to make more interesting wines. Obviously, you can't make good wine without great fruit, so it starts there. But I think, certainly in the winery, Matt does, he does a lot of things he's experimenting all the time with, with different parcels, and, the whole sort of, the wine styles are continually evolving because he's always looking at new things. So, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, the wines are very concentrated, and that's sort of that is a bit of a hallmark of I guess of our wines, and it's it's certainly what Matt likes, and it's what we like. But I guess finding sort of balance there so that they're not just big, heavy, overblown sort of wines. It's sort of everything's sort of dialed up a bit. So hopefully you're getting, still getting really good balance, and things like the Pinot as well, they're relatively at that fuller end of the spectrum, that they're still, the tannins are quite silky and fine and not too firm. I guess, I think being a hands-on winemaker, I think that's a very, very fair description.
How does, I suppose Pinot Noir is your flagship wine, is it? Would you call it that? Or
yeah, I mean, Pinot Noir and Riesling, I would say, would be equal measures of sort of I guess what we're passionate about, but also what we think is quite distinctive and unique from our vineyard site. So certainly Pinot Noir, but I think Riesling would sort of come in there as well. And I think we're one of the few wineries in New Zealand where Riesling's actually our largest production white wine, which is a little bit unusual. So we have a third of our vineyard dedicated to Riesling, and then a third to Pinot Noir, and a third to all the other varieties.
Thanks very much for sparing the time to talk today, and
pleasure.
Wish you all the best, and give the whole family my kind regards for the Christmas, and good luck for the vintage, the 22 vintage. That's you always need a little bit of luck.
Always a bit of luck. Luck is good. Yep, you can prepare as much as you like, but there's definitely a good sort of 50% of luck thrown in there as well. So appreciate it. Thanks very much, Bob.
All right, nice to see you.
You too. All the best.
Cheers.